Hello and welcome to The British Book Guy. I filmed this video yesterday, hated it, so I'm redoing it today and I'm about to edit it. So, I filmed the book haul yesterday and I went to film a wrap-up straight away. And I keep two lists of all the books I read. I have one just on my laptop, just, a study 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way up to how many books I've read. And I also have a list on Goodreads. So I was looking through my Goodreads and I was trying to work out which books I'd read this month and which books I'd read the month before that I'd already talked about. And I was starting to get very frantic and I was going through all these lists and all these different things and the different ways that I kind of catalogue what I read. And then I panicked and I realised I've only read one book this month and it's a Percy Jackson book. The reason I've only read one book this month, because there are reasons, is because I did read the last two Sandman graphic novels, including the Kindly Ones, which is the thickest of all the Sandman books. And I also read a play, which I'll talk about. I don't think I talked about that in the last video. I'm pretty sure I didn't. Pretty sure I did read that this month, but who knows. And I bought a book that I started to read, but I didn't finish. So we'll talk about all those. We'll do the book last. Yeah. So yeah, I read the two Sandman books. There is going to be a video which I'm going to film next week about all 10 of them. And all my thoughts just all in one video. So I won't talk about that now. And then the play was The Tragic History of Dr. Faustus by Christopher Marlowe, based on the German fairy tale mythology of the demon Mephistopheles. I really like Mephistopheles as a character. I've used him before in my writing. I knew a lot about that legend of the general. He's the demon who appears when you say you want to sell your soul. That's who he is. So I read this play kind of expecting something very different, expecting it to be a bit more darker. I expected Faustus to be kind of a different character than he was. So I thought Faustus was just going to be a normal man, very desperate. But in the book, he's a scholar, he's quite learned already, he knows exactly what he's doing and what he's getting into. So there's no peril to what he's doing. He says, I'm going to sell my soul for give me 25 years of life and you've got my soul and then that's it. And there's no moral dilemma there, he just does it. Which I suppose is quite good characterisation, that he doesn't stop to think about it. But not what I was expecting, different to what I'd have liked. But I liked the play. It was written in the 1600s, so it was very good language. Really liked how it was. It wasn't very long, didn't take me that long to read. But I did like that, and I read the play because at the beginning of the year I said I didn't want to just read fiction. I was going to branch out a bit more to plays and non-fiction and essays, which I haven't done a lot. So I kind of made a start with The Tragic History of Dr. Faustus. The other book that I read that I did mean to put in the book haul, because I did buy it this month only on ebook though, was Quiet, The Power of Introverts by Suzanne Cain. If you couldn't guess by the fact that I'm in my bedroom talking to a camera that I'm quite introverted, that should have been obvious. If you can't see all these books and not think that I'm quite introverted, then yeah. So I saw that one of my friends had read this, and so I was like, okay, I'll just buy it on ebook and it'll just, see how it is. But it wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. It was not a lot about, it wasn't really about introversion. It was about introverts versus extroverts and, the differences between them, and then how we grow up to be either or, and the biology behind it, and the genes behind it. So it wasn't so much just about introverts, but equally as much about extroverts. So even though I learnt a lot, and a lot of it was very interesting, and I'm sure at some point in a dinner conversation it might come up and I'll have something interesting to say, but I just stopped reading the book. So that took up quite a lot of time, which is why officially I've only read one book. And that book was Percy Jackson and the Titan's Curse by Rick Riordan. I read this because I'm about to start reading The Passage, but I want to time it so that I finish the 12, which is the second book, just as the third one comes out. So I wanted to fill a bit more time, so I read nice, easy Rick Riordan book. So far this has been my least favourite, and I think that because, for one, the overarching plot hasn't expanded a lot. There's this whole plot running through all the books about Kronos and the Titans, and that wasn't in this as much. It was about a Titan, but not the major Titan, and it did move that whole plot along a little bit, but not as much as the other two have. And the other reason is because of the characters. It got away with one of the main characters. It introduced a character who should have been a main character, but then the way that she was treated at the end I didn't like. It introduced characters that are just going to be in this one book, and and that's all they're going to be there for, and you don't expect them to be in the next one. But then there's characters who I've seen in the last few books, or a character in the last book that I wanted to be in this one, and just taking her out, I didn't like that so much because it just kind of threw her away for another female character. I'm totally talking about Annabeth. I'm trying to not give away spoilers, even though it's right at the beginning of the book. He gets rid of Annabeth and brings in Thalia, or Thalia. I don't know how to actually say it, it's Greek. I think it's Thalia. And then by the end of it, she gets thrown out again, so... And I didn't like that very much. There was no real strong transition between the beginning to when the actual story started, so it kind of just... I was at a point and I'm like, oh, this is the main story now, this is the whole plot that I'm now a part of, and I'm in that. And that could have been a bit more distinct. It's also really annoying how people keep on shitting on Percy. It's like, the last 2 books he's been like the hero, he's done things that people haven't done for ages, but we're still going to call him a knob and kick him out, and we're not going to let him do anything, even though he's very much proven himself already. Thalia's been a tree. Yes, she's the daughter of Zeus, but he is the daughter of Poseidon, and she's been a tree for 12 years. Not for 12 years. She's been a tree for like 2 or 3 years, I don't really know. 7 years. Was it 6, 7 years? I don't know. But she's been a tree, and he's been saving the world, so are we really going to call up too much difference between them? No. But I didn't come away from this worried about the next 2 books. It's a middle book, it's never going to be as strong as the others. And the last 2 hopefully are going to really pick up the pace, and they're going to bomb us towards the ending with the Titans and this whole prophecy about when one of them reaches 16, which is super annoying as well. It keeps on teasing that goddamn 16, like introducing new characters and then changing characters and removing characters, so nobody actually reaches 16. It's a massive tease, and then it just takes it away at the last moment, and it's getting a little bit annoying. Yeah, I think that's everything. I ended a little bit on a rant there. Yeah, like I said, the Sandman video next week. So, I hope you liked this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you did like. Don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you next video.